Welcome to the benefits of becoming a VIP day coach and launching a client-based work session podcast. And this is with MAJESTY-ALL-MIGHTY, and that is me and the wonderful King Rob Deptford. Looking forward to bringing this experience to you during this time. Rob, thank you for joining me.
Well, thanks for having me as always.
Excited, to talk about this because the main purpose of us being able to bring this type of experiences to share about a recent product that we have facilitated together that we want to introduce during this time. But we also want to add value to individuals to share about the benefits of becoming a VIP, day coach, and then being able to do a combination experience in terms of launching a client, based work session type of podcast. So you want to jump right into being able to share about this? Get this party started here.
Yeah, well, when we recorded the training, it came out really well. It touches on a few really important things that I think will tremendously benefit a lot of coaches and consultants.
Mhm.
And so this is intended just to be an overview, I guess, but
Yes.
it's going to be well worth it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So let's jump into, to talking. Well, I guess first let me introduce what the product is, and then we'll talk a little bit about that. So the product itself is a basic introduction to becoming a VIP day coach and a client on air workspace facilitator. And it's really a mini info masterclass, and it's very informative, but we are being able to give you some action steps and things that you can really get in and start this process and have a very accelerated type of turnaround and easily becoming a VIP day coach and getting products out on the market that can start, adding value. So Rob, let's talk about the benefits. I really want to hear from you because just even more recently, in terms of some of the progression of, with one of your own business platforms of being able to implement intensives and, those structures. And I know you mentioned that you definitely see the streamlinedness of it and how it just all fits in. So let's, talk about that. What do you think the benefits are to someone not only having this in their business, but being a coach for this experience?
Well, I think it really could be a cornerstone piece. Um,
Yes.
you, as a coach, probably have multiple products and services that are a part of your business already, aside from just doing the sort of one-to-one type of service. So, maybe you've got publications, or maybe you've got a number of different programs or courses or things that you sell already,
Mhm.
but a VIP day really is uh, a little bit different in terms of it being a more concentrated, focused effort one-to-one with a
Mhm.
client. And it's a high ticket item.
Mhm.
It's an item or a service that allows somebody to create an outcome very quickly. And really, it's an implementation piece where you are helping people along the path. And not that you're not doing that in other ways with other
Right.
services, but
Mhm.
it's I'm grabbing your hand now and here we go. And by the end of at the end of this day or the end of this session,
Mhm.
we're going to achieve this outcome, whatever it may be for your niche in your industry.
Mhm. Absolutely. Well stated. Yes. And then, we touched on those who facilitate, VIP experiences themselves, intensives,
Mhm.
being able to now teach others to do that. And even if they don't incorporate that as being a full-on VIP day coach, but doing their due diligence to contribute to the knowledge base from their experience, to that part of the coaching experience. And so turning around and teaching other people what you do, even if it is just that you're providing products for it and not always just literal training. So we did, touch on that aspect. Your thoughts, around or anything you want to share from what we shared, or just your thoughts around that?
Yeah, well, sometimes people aren't ready for that VIP day intensive. I mean, it's called an intensive for a reason,
You
right?
got that right.
And so if they're not at that stage yet, then having some other opportunities for people to be a part of your ecosystem is
Mhm,
a key piece of that. So, we touched a little bit on publications and podcasting and some other things
mhm.
that can really complement the whole process and help to get people feeling comfortable with you and your brand and the service you deliver, and eventually, make their way towards that VIP day type of service.
Absolutely, and then also too, being able to provide this service, and coaches themselves have to get comfortable with this, is that they facilitate VIP experiences, but again, then
Yeah.
teaching other, people how to do it, and even if it is providing a demonstration in some, in some form of a product. So I will just take you, for instance, too, is your own developmental process around the VIP intensives. You've been coaching, and consulting for years, and podcasting, but you even seeing that, oh yes, I can definitely easily teach another business owner or so how to um, create their own VIP intensives by giving them what the core objective of it is. And then if they want to explore, here's how I can actually provide this for someone else. Anyone can turn around and help someone else, even if it is in a product base, to be able to conduct VIP days. You'd agree?
Yeah. I mean, everybody has the capability, and it just is a matter of understanding where your positioning is relative to the clients you serve. And then knowing what the needs are for your target audience. And then you can just build something around that.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And so the reason why we, create this product is, and at an entry level, is so that it provides a way for coaches to make a greater impact and income by leveraging a skill that they have already that maybe they're overlooking in terms of, yes, they're doing the facilitation of it and conducting it, but just never thinking, I actually can teach someone else how to do this. The same
Mhm.
thing that I am doing, that I won't have necessarily what their deliverables will be or their expertise, but the foundation or the premise of facilitating a VIP day. And even if they've only facilitated one version, like me, I've facilitated countless versions and leveraged different types of models for VIP days, weeks, months, even 90-day VIP intensive experiences. And no, it's not straight, a straight month or straight 90 days. It's just an experience of a combination of VIP days and follow-up sessions within, a certain window. But just for individuals who are wanting to jumpstart, is to share your knowledge. Once you put together your VIP experience, whether you facilitated it fully or not, once you put together that experience, what did you do to actually put together that experience? So you turn around and share that with someone else. And again, just in a basic level of being able to do, a product. And we touch on that, within um, the mini info masterclass. But that's something for coaches, Rob, to really think about, is that yes, they are facilitating this and they're beneficial, but how do you take your impact and income to the next level by providing, yes, some type of training or publication or so that is actually encouraging other people, to use VIP days in their experience and then teach others, about it.
Yeah, and if you're doing that all within your niche, and those people that you are coaching decide that they're now going to coach, it just is a benefit for everybody involved, and it helps everybody's marketing. We talk a little bit about that in the
Mhm,
training,
mhm, mhm.
and it really just it becomes a win-win for everyone.
It absolutely does. It absolutely does. And how that win-win expands is that even outside of your your niche market. And I think we talked about this a little bit in terms of, it's not necessarily that the clients that you're serving, that you are producing that product for them. Is that a general public needs, or a certain audience needs that knowledge about VIP days. So just like if you're a health and fitness or health and wellness coach, and you are just coaching people, but you're not coaching them for business, and they're not interested in that. They just come to you for the well-being, and they've done some type of well-being intensive, with you. But because you have facilitated a VIP day experience, then the product is for anyone who's interested in learning about VIP days. So it doesn't necessarily have to be for the people that you're serving. It's that you're just turning around a process that you facilitated. You're not necessarily giving them the how to conduct a wellness one. You definitely could do that. If you are a wellness coach, and you're not using VIP days, here's a template that you can leverage to facilitate a VIP experience or retreat, for your clients, and, kind of customize it. But again, Rob brought up the key thing. You have a market that you are addressing, and you want to address that market, but also outside of individuals that you may be coaching in your experience, those may not necessarily be who your product is for, but you still need to create, the product. You agree, King Rob?
Yeah, as you say, it really is applicable anywhere.
It
And
is.
it's a skill set that if you can add to your toolbox, it's another opportunity to generate another revenue stream for you.
It absolutely is. And it does position you as a coach in that area, because you have the products or so, and you can actually have offering, for that. And it may be something that you only offer seasonal, so to speak. It may not be something that you do all the time, or maybe it's, what I call, Rob, just your a la carte, coaching experience, where you have your main focuses for, for coaching and consulting, but then you also have an a la carte where people can know, oh, I can actually get this too. And it could be something that's not a part of your traditional structure, so to speak, but it may be something that you can introduce if something comes up around individuals who are maybe interested in, becoming coaches, which it seems like nowadays, some of everybody's wanting to add that to their toolkit, but also wanting to have something more expansive than just I'm a coach, some, an actual form to the coaching, so to speak.
Yeah, for sure. And it is, I mean, it's a tool. Coaching is a tool for sure.
Mhm.
But I think a lot of people don't necessarily recognize that they have an expertise that they can share beyond just what they may be focused on
Right.
initially.
Mhm.
And we get caught up in, imposter syndrome and things like that.
Yeah.
And really at the end of the day, there are many things that we do that are teachable.
Yeah.
And so it's just a matter of how can you package that to provide it to somebody else. And if you can do it in a way like a VIP intensive,
Mhm.
where maybe it's not part of your traditional offering, well, now
Mhm.
it's a high ticket item because
It,
it's not part
yeah.
of your traditional offering.
Right. Exactly. Right. Yeah, no, that was a great point. Definitely. And so, within the product, like I said, we touch on these aspects and different examples. And then also from the product development, we provide, the platforms to best use, to start building credibility through, products, and the types to create for this type of initiative. But then, we talk about the podcasting aspect and the benefits of having an on-air, client type of work session, podcast, and a few formats that people can use. So, let's talk about kind of the benefits to that. Do you want to jump in and share, what you believe are the benefits to having that type of podcast initiative?
Well, I think the biggest one is branding and marketing.
Yeah.
It provides some, well, we talk about it providing some leverage in the training.
Yes.
and incredible leverage, in fact. And you're not only building an audience for yourself, but you're building an audience for the client, and you're building more audiences beyond that for the
Mhm.
client's clients,
Yes,
right?
right, 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 right. It's
Uh,
right.
so
Whatever their service is or what they provide, right? Their brand. You're
that's
absolutely right.
that's right. Yeah. So to me, that's the biggest benefit, is the marketing aspect.
Yeah, it is. Definitely. It is tremendous for sure. And it allows the coach to display their skills in a very unique way and to do something more out of the box than kind of just the traditional formats that even how podcasting is, used for business, which both you and I both know that there are tremendous benefits, of course, to podcasting for business. But when you can have something that is more geared towards a relationship with your clients, then that builds that not just know, like, and trust. It really is to know, love, and trust with an audience who is in the market, for a coach, looking for a coach, and then actually people who didn't even think that they needed a coach. And I mean, I've heard this, so many times throughout, the years with my own experience. Even it's interesting, even one of my proteges, star proteges many years ago, said to me, said, this was a coach I didn't even know I needed. And next thing you know, I had to have her, and start doing, some on-air stuff and off-air stuff and then on-air stuff. And but when you could have demonstrations and then listen, and I've had others throughout the years that they would hear something, um, from a workspace session that I've done with someone else. And then they just said, wow, I definitely want to have, that type of experience, whether it is the on air, the off air, one. But it's interesting because, Rob, even some individuals who weren't necessarily as open to doing the on air type of experience, once they kind of got in the flow of the off air experience, they were like, oh, no, someone needs to know this. So there's like, yes, please share this piece and please, but you can be intentional to create experiences where you have a community where this is good for, and then the parts that you can put out. And so we touched on that, in the mini info masterclass, didn't we?
Yeah, lots of good information, and something that's going to help people take that next step.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, with that, being said, we've kind of given uh, an overview in the sense of what people can expect, from this type of experience, should they secure the product. And there's going to be information in the description for the product, but also information in description of how you can learn more about Rob and I, and also what we provide individually and collectively as it relates to VIP initiatives and podcasting, even outside of client-oriented types of podcasts. But just anyone who's interested in building a podcast, and especially for business, um, we've got them covered, don't we, King Rob?
I think so. There are a lot of tools out there, and I think it gets a little intimidating at times for people, but what we're covering, I think, are the essentials.
Yeah, absolutely. That's especially for business building, for sure. So there'll be information again within the description. So, Rob, before we can, conclude here, do you think that we've given a good enough overview or summarization of the product, so that don't give away everything, so that people are more interested to learn about this particular experience?
Well, it's a high ticket experience that you can incorporate into your own business system. I think that's what it is. So,
Mhm.
if you want to learn more about that, then check out the training.
Absolutely, yes. So, any call to action that you have that to get them going? Yes, they definitely need to check that out. Or any closing words, I should say, before we conclude here.
Well, I think you're not going to be sorry that you got involved in VIP day training. We've all been to conferences and things, so we know
Mhm.
how effective it is to have sort of focused sessions where we
Yes.
really want to learn a particular topic. And this allows for a one-on-one experience like that, for which you can charge quite a high price.
Yes.
And people are willing to pay for that hand-holding, so to speak. So it's well worth adding to your repertoire. You just need to know how to put it together. So that's what
That's
we're
right.
trying to help out with.
Absolutely. All right. Exactly. So again, check the description, and again, you'll find in there the link for the product, but also again, information about Rob and I. And we certainly hope that we can help you with this initiative, but also extensions of what we do and what maybe you have going on in your business that we can help. We're here for that. Is that correct, Rob?
We're always here, I think, aren't we?
Lights always on in some
The
shape,
light is
form,
always
or
on.
that's right, in some shape, form, or fashion. So, Rob, thanks first of all for facilitating the mini info masterclass with me, and then coming forth to provide the valuable preview for this, experience. What you shared during this time and on the product was tremendous. So I appreciate you very much for that.
Well, I know it's going to be helpful for a few people, so I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you, for sure. So we are going to bring this to a close, and again, check the description. We are certainly being your champions for this initiative. We want you to succeed in the coaching arena. Sometimes it's not always the easiest to stay consistent with impact and income, but sometimes, we perish for a lack of knowledge and know-how in terms of what's available and what can be incorporated into your experience that may actually become the bigger part of your experience. And I've seen this over the years, where what is something that is incorporated as a service sometimes ends up becoming the major star and major focus that really changes the game in a coaching business. And the VIP experience, intensive experience, is certainly one that can do that for you. So we're wishing you the absolute best with this initiative, and hope to have you join us for various experiences. And we'll be back with more for you soon. Take care.